morning, America. It's a cold morning. Today is Tuesday, March the 27th. And we're almost at the end of March. And we have finished all 31 verses of Proverbs. And, of course, we have to start all over with Psalms. And, you know, Psalm has quite a few chapters in here. It's got a whole 150 songs in it. That's what Psalms is, a book of songs. So, because I have no singing skills, we will read them. It is chapter 1 of Psalms. It has only 6 verses, 3 colors: orange for your faith, blue for salvation, and black for sin. And because I have this parallel Bible, which on the pages it has the Old Testament and the New International Version, we're going to be reading it. We're going to be using this Bible more frequently because I believe it makes it easier for the listeners to comprehend that which they're hearing. So that's the way we'll do it this morning. It will be a very short reading, but yet powerful. Okay, Psalms 1 is about righteous and ungodly people are contrast. They're different. They're opposite of one another. That's what contrast means. And let's begin with verse 1 and 2, which is orange for your faith. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Here it says, blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sits in the seat of the mockers. So this is a person who minds the company he or she keeps. If you are among the ungodly, among the wicked, among those that are mischievous, you will eventually begin to mimic their action, mimic their language, mimic their thinking. So if you separate yourself from such company and mind the company that you keep, you are a blessed individual. That's what it's saying in this particular verse. Okay? 2, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law does he meditate day and night. Here it says, but he delights is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. This means that throughout your day, you consider the things of God, whether you're walking, working, driving, whatever you may be doing throughout the course of your day, for you to take a moment to think about God, his goodness, his mercy, his grace upon thee and us. That is an individual who is delighted in the laws of God. Very easy to understand. 3 is that blue verse I was telling you. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth his fruit in his season. And his leaf also shall not wither. And whatsoever he does shall prosper. And it means that literally, whatever you do, you will prosper in it. Whatever you attempt, you will be able to accomplish it. This man here, who is like a tree planted by the river of water, this man, this woman will prosper in all that they do. Shorten it for you. Let's read it from here. It says, he is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaves does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. Whatever it is you will be able to obtain it. Why? Because you are delighted in the laws of God. Why? Because you are a tree planted by a stream of rivers of water. You get plenty of nourishment. The nourishment is what? The laws of God. You ponder over them. Okay? And you will be favored. But if you are the kind, you mingle in evil, then you will not be as prosperous as this tree planted by the rivers of water. Okay, if you do not think about the laws of God at all, period, you will not be like this tree planted by the rivers of water. Okay? You must fit in this box in order to be prosperous. Now, yes, the evil prosper. They gain much through deception, through mischief, through all kinds of mayhem. But they don't keep what they have. They don't keep what they obtain. They lose it suddenly. And sometimes they even lose their freedom. So it does not pay to mimic their actions. It pays to be like this person here, who ponders over the laws of God throughout their day. It pays to be delighted in the laws of God. And this individual will prosper. It pays to be grateful, be thankful for not just what God does for you, but for all those who you cross paths with, who also do for you. Okay? It pays to have a good attitude about life, about people, about God. Period. All right? I just needed to explain it to you a little bit better. All right? And I'm going to repeat this because it's it's a short chapter, but yet it's powerful. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. So if there's something going on in your life and you're not prospering, read this chapter and you will find your way. Okay, I'll read it from here also. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaves does not wither. Wherever he does prosper. And that he can mean she as well, or they. All right. 4, 5, and 6 are black for sin. The ungodly are not so, but are like the shaft which the wind driveth away. Shafts are very light, small, little leaves light that the slightest little wind, it just tosses it away here and there. Okay? Not so the wicked, which is the ungodly. They are like shafts that the wind blows away. No matter what they do, no matter how they go about doing it, sooner or later the wind comes by and just blows them away. Okay? Don't be like that. All right? Stand on solid ground. All right? What's standing on solid ground? That man or that woman who ponders over the laws of God, even in the midst of this evil generation. All right? 5. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous, which they stand today. Yes, they do today stand among the righteous, especially in the church of God. Yep, they do. You have pastors and priests now that were married to of the same sex. Does not that prove that they are standing in the house of the Lord, doing the most evil? All right? Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous, though they stand there today. But you know what? Their world always turns upside down eventually. Always. Always. It may seem like they're doing well, they're prospering, they got a false prophet to marry them, but sooner or later their world turns upside down. And the same way with this nation. We are doing many things against the laws and the will of God, and sooner or later we will pay for it, one way or the other. That's a promise that God has made. Okay? 6, the last verse. For the Lord knoweth the ways of the righteous. He knows all the righteous in the land. He knows where they stand. He knows who they are. He knows their name. He knows their family. There's nothing God doesn't know. Nothing. Including what more evil this world will do. He knows that too. Okay? For the Lord knows the ways of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. It's the same thing I just said to them. Eventually their world will turn upside down. Okay, let's read it from here. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. So even in the midst of his wrath, he knows where every righteous soul stands on his land. This earth is his land. It's not like in that song that man wrote. This land is our land. This land is yours. This is not our land. This is his land. And we are just pilgrims here for a little while. This land will always stand forevermore. Okay? It is not our land. It is his land. And we are just temporary occupants of it. Both man and beast. Okay? And that is all 6 verses of that beautiful song that is written by an anonymous writer. Because one wonderful thing about the book of Psalms is that it always tells you who the writer is. And in this particular one, it is an anonymous writer. And most of these psalms or songs are written by anonymous writers. But there are some that are written by known writers. It tells you here that primarily David, but also 7 other writers contributed to the making of the book of Psalms. And here, although it only has 150 songs in here, altogether, America, there are 3,000 Psalms. 3,000 of them. So the other ones, I do not know. Do not have a book that contains the remaining Psalms, but it will be something that I will work on this year, trying to obtain the remaining Psalms so that I may share them with you. And thank you very much for listening to Spiritual Water. My name is Brenda Guerrero, and as always, may the blessing of God and protection of God be upon your pate. May he surround you and all those you love, and may the will of God come from thee. Until the next time, enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Thank you for listening.